I'm just waiting for a few of you to join. I see one person came in. How are you doing? Hope I can see my comments as I'm trying to look at. Oh, there we go. Wait, hold on. Tanzania Thomas, how are you? Erica, yeah or yay? Hi, and shalom to you too. Okay, they're popping up. I always get worried because sometimes my comments will not pop up and I can't see who's commenting. I'm just waiting for a few more of you to join. Hi, Jim Jones. How are you? God bless you as well. And hey. Okay, let's see. A few more coming in. Oh, you did get the notification. Good. I never know with YouTube. I don't know. I hardly ever get on YouTube unless I'm doing a video or I'm watching something that, you know, I need to, like a cooking video or something like that. Well, I love you guys too. We got a few more popping in. And I'm so glad that you guys are popping in to catch this video. I'm warning you right offhand that this is going to be a very long video because you guys read the title. It's about marriage. And I'm going to be hitting on several points. I have them written down right in front of me. And this is me talking my experiences. I'm going on, let's see, we're going on, well, we just hit our 5-year mark in November. So I don't know everything there is to know about marriage quite yet. But in trying to be as honest as I can be with you all, I'm going to let you guys know a few important things that I think that are important aspects of marriage. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. God has definitely been dealing with me a lot on the subject of marriage. A lot of my Bible study has been touching on marriage and what it is to be a true wife and woman of God, a mother in God, and a mother over her household. And some things I would say are probably controversial in the eyes of the world, but I don't care. I definitely want to touch on these things. I missed a few of you all. Let's see. Is it Jeronica? God bless you and your family as well. And yes, absolutely, I agree with you. It's a lot of game playing going on out here. I definitely understand that aspect of it as well, Jim Jones. I understand. And I'm going to touch on that as well. So just stay tuned. I'm definitely going to wait for a few more people to join in and just, speak from my heart. And you guys know I might be a little bit more transparent in the matter than I probably should be, but I just want to be as truthful as I can be. And I'm sorry, this hula hoop is poking out. That's my little exercise tool. I like to hula hoop. That's weird, I know, but me and my daughters, we get our hula hoops and we exercise together with our hula hoops. Let's see who can hula hoop the longest. Yes, I can hula hoop. Let's see, Victorious 41 FIFY. Hi, how are you? And it's so good for you to join. And I guess I'll go ahead and get started. As I entitled this video, it's called Love and Marriage, Me and We. I'll refer to a few scriptures, but a lot of this is going to be based on my marriage and my experiences and just my life in general, and just being truthful and honest with you guys today. First of all, and I have it written down, but first of all, I just want to say my husband, Michael, that's my husband's name, has been an absolute true blessing to me. I love him with all my heart. I truly do believe that God created him for me. He's my best friend and the biggest blessing besides my children and besides me getting saved that I have received thus far. I just don't know what I would do without him. He has added so much to my life that I didn't have before when it was just me. So marriage is a beautiful thing. When you let God orchestrate your marriage and you let God bring the true person into your life, it's going to be absolutely perfect. But with that being said, marriage is hard. Marriage is challenging. It's going to push you in ways that you never could have imagined. And so for me to sit here and say that everything is honky-dory and, you know, my marriage is perfect, we're perfect, it would be the biggest lie I could tell you, because marriage has challenged me in ways that I have never thought that I was going to be challenged in. It, like I said, it's not something that is easy. It's not something that, especially TV, when you look at marriages and they paint marriages as just this perfect, wonderful, romantic bliss, that's just further from the truth. It really is. And so the biggest thing that I am grateful for is when God set me down and he taught me before I was even going to enter into a marriage what it was to be a patient person, to be prepared even for marriage in the first place. I am so grateful for that time, because had I not had that time, I would not have been prepared for a true marriage. And that's just true. And so there are, I would say, well, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I would put at the top of my life list that are the most important things that God has called me to do. The first thing would be him, God, first. Number one is God and all things God, reading your word, Jesus, praying, staying on top of your growth as a believer is number one. You know, you have to constantly feed your life to even have direction for your life, to do the things God has called you to do. It's first and foremost. The second thing would be my marriage. You know, I put children as the third thing, because yes, my children are a huge part of my life, because I'm a mother of 4 children, and I've been a mother since I was 16 years old. That's another story for another day. So I was a mother before I could even grow out of childhood, put it that way. I was a child taking care of a child. And so that has been a huge part of my life, being a mother. And so number 2 would be marriage, because when my children are grown, you know, when they're out of the house, when I have done my work as far as them being close to me and in my home, there will be marriage left. There will be me and my husband, and I will still have to continue to put forth all of the effort that I had been since day one into my marriage. And so that's why I put marriage as number 2 and children as number 3. The next would be your household, you know, as the woman, as the wife. And it doesn't matter if you are a full-time working out of the home, you still have a responsibility to your household. And I guess that's just how God ordered it to be. You know, we are the ones to take care of our households and steward over it. And there's nobody that can take care of your household better than you anyway. So I'm just putting that out there. Not saying that a man can't take care of a household. Absolutely. If he's called by God to do it, he absolutely can. But there's just a patience and a desire that he has put in a woman to steward over our own homes. And that's just natural. It's natural for us to want to do that. And so household would be number 4. And then number 5, not that you all are not as important to me, but God has called me to be a steward over this channel. And I know that I haven't been posting as frequently as I was before, but that is all on God's timing. And he has put me just as much of a steward over this channel as he has over my household. And so there's not a moment, there's not a day that goes by that I do not think about my channel, that I do not think about I need to be pouring into my YouTube channel. That's my door. That's probably a package. And so I need to put that time and that effort into just as much as as I do my household, as I do my marriage, as I do my children, and as I do my walk. And I believe that with all my heart. And so those are the main things. That is my door. Those are the main things that well, I'm sorry, that is my door. And I'm going to keep continuing to do my video. Those are the main things that God has put in my life. And so with that being said, marriage is hard. Marriage is challenging, but it's also rewarding. If God has blessed you with your marriage and you wait for him to give you your proper marriage. I'm home. I'm in my room. It's the maintenance people. I'm home. I'm in my room doing a video. Okay, we're hitting everything. You're okay. Thank you. Okay. Sorry about that. That's the maintenance. They just come on in anyway. But marriage is challenging. It's going to give you your rewards. It definitely is. But you've got to put in that work. You've got to put in that work. And so me and my mom have had this conversation. We've had this conversation. She feels that if her marriage that she's in now, because she's going to be until death do you part, and that's what I've been called to do as well, till death do you part, would she ever get married again? And she said, yes, she would. My answer to that would only be if God called me to do that again, because marriage is just that challenging. It has taken everything out of me to do this, you know? And so what I'm trying to say in that is most of us are called to be in marriage, but you've got to be ready for marriage. You've got to be ready for marriage. So when I had that time to spend with God, and he was preparing me and he was bringing me to his holy kingdom in a way that would prepare me to be the wife that I am, if God hasn't brought that true companion into your life, it may be because you're not fully ready for it yet. Allow God to weed what he needs to weed out of you. Allow God to prepare you what he needs to prepare you for before you even enter into that marriage. If you're in a relationship right now that you know you're not supposed to be in, why hold on to that when God has somebody who is so beautiful and made for you? Why not wait for that? Why not allow God to bring that into your life? Use that time that you are single to be in preparedness for what is to come. It is so beautiful when God sits you down, and I have a whole video on my channel talking about my time of singleness, where he sits you down and he feeds into you what you need to know, and even just him being at that time of refreshing, so to speak, to be with him. Allow him to do that, because that marriage or that relationship that you're wasting your time in, that you're putting your energy into, is not going to be worth it. Is not going to be worth the marriage that you're going to have if you just wait. If you just wait for that time, wait for that perfect one that he has for you. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to be, you won't have wasted your time. You won't have wasted your energy. You'll be prepared. It'll be all the wonderful things that you want, as long as you wait for it. Wait for it. And so just pray to God on how you need to get out of your current situation, and just go. If it's not the situation that God has called you to be in, allow God to break it for you. Allow God to bring you out of that, to deliver you from it. And that way he can bring your right situation into your life. Okay? This is another thing that I see so often in marriages and in relationships. A lot of people are so quick at the first sign of trouble to just say, that's it, I wash my hands, I'm done, it's over, I'm through. Marriage, your true marriage, is not going to be that way. You are going to have to stick it out. You're going to have to decide in your heart that this that I'm going to stay. I'm going to be here truly until the end. I'm going to make this work. There have been so many times that I have been so mad and so frustrated and so hurt that I just want to say, okay, I'm done. It's over with. It's over, you know. That would just be easier. That's my way out. But that's not true. I weigh out the pros and the cons, and you know, to be without my marriage would be a true tragedy. To be without my true husband that God has put into my life would be far worse, you know. And I would truly have to suffer those consequences. So becoming, and that's going to be my next point. And I know I'm talking a lot to the ladies because I have the most experience of being a lady in a marriage, but becoming a praying and a patient wife is so important. And not a yelling wife. And a wife who submits to God is a wife who submits to her husband. And yes, I know everybody hates that word. I know when you think of the word submit, it's like, you know, be quiet and go in a corner somewhere and not have an opinion, not do anything. You know, that's not the kind of submission that I'm talking about. I'm talking about a godly submission. A woman, whenever she's apt to yell and to tell her husband what to do and assert dominion over her husband and just put him to his misery, you know, bring him down to his knees, so to speak, is not the wife that God has called us to be. He's called us to be the wife that submits to him, that submits in prayer. And so if you have something that's burning inside of you that you just want to go tell your husband what to do and tell him exactly who he is, that's when you need to take a step back, go into your bathroom, go into your prayer room, go into your bedroom, secretly in your heart, talk to God about it. Pray to God over it. That's what you need to do, rather than yell and go fight and go like you just go put your opinion. I mean, you know, just put him down. Don't do that. That's only going to create heartache. It's going to create dissension in your marriage. It's going to just bring your marriage down. A quarrelsome wife is not what we have been called to do. As a matter of fact, the Bible says that is decay to your husband's bones. And I see that because God, there is something that God has put in a husband that he needs to have over not over a wife, but in his own heart. He needs to know that he is accepted, that he is the leader in the home, that he is doing a good job as far as what God has called him to do in his household. And when he has a woman trying to take those things away from him, it does not help. It doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. So you need to submit to God in prayer, whatever it is that you're trying to assert over your husband. And the world totally calls a woman to be opposite. It totally calls them to be Miss Independent. It totally calls them to assert that dominance over your husband, because I can go out and make money just like he can. So I can do what I want to do over him just like he is. You know, I'm better than him. That's not the wife that God has called us to be. He's called us to be patient and to submit to our husbands in a way that gives us power. And that's another thing I want to talk about. Just because we are called to be the weaker vessel, so to speak, and not saying that we can't do what a man can do. We absolutely could. But he has called us to be there for our man, to be the rib for our man, to be his other half, and to be as one with him. And to be that, ladies, to be that, we have to be submissive to God. We have the ability to make or to break our home in this aspect. And that is powerful. That is powerful when you choose and you learn to submit to God and to submit to your husband in a way that is godly. You will make your home. You will see how smooth and how wonderful things work in your home when you do that. You will see the peace that is in your home. You will see the order that is in your home. And that is powerful when you allow that power to go over to your Father, and He orchestrates your marriage and who you are as a wife. You will see that in your home. You'll see the fruit in your home. It'll not only go from your husband, it'll go to your household, it'll go to your children, and everybody will look at your family and they're going to be like, wow. Yes, they're going to be envious. You're going to have to deal with envy. But that's when you know you are doing what you are supposed to do in God and in your marriage. And it is an amazing thing to see. And I'm not saying you need to be proud and be like, oh, I've got the best family on the block, or my family's better than so-and-so's. But they will look into your family and look into your marriage, and they will be like, wow, that is what I want. I want God over me. I want God over my household. I want God over my marriage. I want God over my children. And they're going to desire to have a relationship with God. And that is all beautiful, and that is all powerful. So don't think that submitting to your husband and submitting to the Lord is all bad. It is beautiful. It's powerful. It's all wonderful, and it's all amazing. And you're going to see that fruit come into your life. And if you think about it, we don't have to suffer as much, and as we see other people suffering. We don't, because we've chosen to give that power over to where it was supposed to go in the first place. So put God first in your life, and make sure that you give your husband the manhood that he needs in order to make your family great. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. Your family's going to be great, and you're going to shine, and you're just going to be so amazing to others. And you want them to follow your example, to put Christ over their lives as well. Because so many families are broken, so many families are hurting, so many families are in need. They're in need. And so to show them that is to love them, to bring them to Christ is to love them. So don't think that word submit is the end of your world. It's the beginning of greatness. It's the beginning of greatness. And so, let's see. I think that is all I wanted to hit on, on today's message. But I just want to say to those of you that are single, to those of you that are still waiting for the one, it's a blessing to be. It is. Don't look at it as, oh, I'm still waiting for this so-and-so. I'm still waiting for this person to come into my life. I'm still waiting for this person to happen. You get on your hands and your knees and you thank God for your time of singleness, because it's only preparing you for that wonderful spouse that God is bringing into your life, that He created specifically for you. He will be your best friend. She will be your best friend. That everything that you have been waiting for, and all the more for waiting, because it's going to be all the more beautiful. So don't worry about it. Don't get tired. Don't get stressed out. Don't get worried. Don't fear. It's going to happen. If it's in your heart, if God has put in your heart for a desire for marriage, all you have to do is submit to God first. Put Him first in your life, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But you're going to be also prepared for it. You're going to be prepared for it in a way that others aren't prepared for it, because they rushed into it. They made it happen on their own instead of waiting for God to make it happen for them. So wait for God to make it happen. And yes, sometimes it seems like God takes an eternity. Yes, it does seem like He takes an eternity for a lot of things, for so many things. But it's worth it. It's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. So just wait on Him, and it's going to happen for you. I know I missed a lot of comments, and I'm so sorry. But oh my goodness, I can't see them. Sometimes I think because I have the internet that I live in such a small community and a small town that the internet goes in and out a lot. And when I'm filming, a lot of times I lose my comments, but as long as the footage is there for my video. But I just want to say, whoever came in that I cannot see, I love you. Thank you so much for stopping in. I miss you. I can't wait to see you all in the next video. I had a hard time deciding if I was going to do this as a recorded video or if I was going to do a live video. But what God put in my heart and I thought was so beautiful was go live, do your live video, because whoever's meant to see this is going to come on and see this, and they're going to be blessed by it. And I'm going to be blessed through it as well, you know? And so it was just a beautiful thing how God brought this video along and brought this into me. And he's working on me. I'm not saying that I am the best wife in the world. I mess up too. There are some times where, like I said, I get so mad and frustrated that I just want to bite my husband's head off. But I have learned that that is not the way to go. You need to go to God first, who sees into your marriage and who knows all and who will help you. And whatever it is that I was upset about or that was frustrating me, 90% of the time I forget about it 20 minutes later or the next day. Maybe it'll take just the next day and I forget about it, and it's okay. You know, I can't tell you how many times my husband has come in the room and said, you know, I'm sorry, we're bigger than this, we're better than this. You know, I'm sorry that this happened. And I didn't have to say a word to him. All I had to do was talk to God about it. And I'm just secretly saying, hallelujah, amen, that was you. And I thank him so much. But yes, in today's society, it is hard to bite our tongue. It really is. But it's rewarding in the end to do so. And I'm not saying that you need to sit there like a mouse and never say anything and never have an opinion on those things that God tells you that you need to speak your mind or speak your mouth. He will. You will, and it'll be all right. But we just don't need to do it in a way that's going to put your husband down. That's going to put him in a box, so to speak, because that's not the right way. God will teach you the right way to talk to your husband and to have those arguments that are worth it, you know. And Michael and I, in the 5 years that we have been married, I could probably count on one hand how many times we have gotten into big, huge blows. And I wouldn't even consider those to be big, huge blows, because at the end of the day, we've decided to work it out. Our marriage is submitted unto God, and he works it all out. He does, in a way that I've never seen in any other relationship that I've been in. And I know now that I should have never been in any of those other relationships that I myself brought into my life, that I just couldn't wait on God for. And I have none of them now. They all are regrets. They all are chucked to time wasted. And so, you know, it's definitely not worth it. And I know that now. And it took God to sit me down and weed through me to teach me that it's just not worth it in the end, that I needed to have waited for my husband. And now that I have him, it's been the biggest and truest blessing in my life. And it's also been the most challenging thing in my life. But I love you guys. I miss you guys. I hope to see you guys very soon. And I thank you guys for tuning in and joining. And I will see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.